Have you ever been stuck on a problem? You think about it from every angle. You replay the details over and over in your mind. It feels like you are running on a hamster wheel, expending a tremendous amount of energy but going absolutely nowhere. This state is called rumination. It is the mental loop where your brain gets caught, obsessively focusing on a problem, obsessively focusing on a worry, obsessively focusing on a past event. We are often taught that the harder we work, the better the results. We believe intense focus and relentless mental effort are the keys. But what if this approach is actually making things worse? What if the very act of trying so hard is the reason you remain stuck? This is the great paradox of the human mind. The more you push, the more you strain, and the more the answer seems to elude you. It's like trying to see clearly by pressing your face right up against a window. All you get is a blurry, distorted view. This constant mental effort can be exhausting. It leads to stress. It leads to anxiety. It leads to a feeling of being completely overwhelmed. You might feel a deadline looming at work, or the pressure of an upcoming exam. Your natural instinct is to double down, to think even harder. Yet the solution remains just out of reach, a frustrating and seemingly impossible puzzle. Your brain simply cannot solve it no matter how much force you apply. This experience is universal. We have all felt the frustration of a mental roadblock. We have all dedicated hours. We have even dedicated days to thinking through a challenge, only to find ourselves more confused than when we started. It feels counterintuitive to simply stop. Our culture praises persistence and grit. We celebrate those who grind and hustle. The idea of letting go can feel like giving up or admitting defeat. However, modern neuroscience is revealing that stepping back is not an act of surrender. Instead, it is a strategic and biologically necessary step toward finding the very insight you have been searching for all along. The truth is, your brain is designed to solve complex problems, but not always through conscious, focused effort. There are powerful underlying processes at work that we often sabotage with our desire to control the outcome. The hamster wheel of rumination doesn't just waste your time. It actively prevents your brain from accessing its most creative and resourceful states. It locks you into a narrow mode of thinking, shutting down the very pathways that lead to breakthrough ideas. To get unstuck, we must first understand how to get off the wheel. We need to learn a new way of engaging with our minds, one that embraces rest not as a luxury, but as a fundamental tool for high performance. The solution to this paradox lies not in self-help platitudes, but in the concrete science of your nervous system. Our journey begins with the Polyvagal Theory, developed by Dr. Stephen Porges. The theory maps how our nervous system responds to the world. When you are stuck in rumination, your brain and body perceive a threat. Constant worry triggers high alert via the sympathetic nervous system. Your body prepares for fight or flight. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tense. Your focus narrows to perceived danger. This state cripples creative problem solving. Activation limits access to brain areas responsible for higher order thinking, social connection, creativity. Think of it like a blocked pipe. Water can't flow. Your ideas are trapped behind stress. To unlock them, first signal safety to your nervous system. Consciously shift out of threat into calm and connection, which allows your brain to function optimally. Enter the default mode network, the DMN, identified by neurologist Marcus Raichle. The DMN activates when you're not on a goal-oriented task. When you stop trying so hard, your brain doesn't shut down. It moves into a more expansive mode. The DMN is your brain's background processor. It connects distant memories. It links seemingly unrelated ideas. It integrates emotional information with logical data. In that mind-wandering state, profound insights are born. We'll explore the science behind these two concepts. We'll show how rumination blocks cognitive potential. Then we'll reveal how to intentionally activate your DMN. This isn't laziness, it's working smarter with biology. We'll give a practical, science-backed framework for recognizing when you're stuck, signaling safety to your nervous system, creating mental space for eureka moments. The goal: move from stressful striving to insightful integration. When you find yourself trapped in a loop of worry, replaying a stressful conversation or an impending deadline, you are not just thinking. You are activating a primal, deeply embedded alarm system within your body. This system is designed for one primary purpose: to keep you alive. Your brain, in its constant effort to protect you, doesn't always distinguish between a physical predator and a psychological threat like the fear of failure or social rejection. To your nervous system, a threat is a threat, and it responds with a powerful cascade of biological changes. This response is automatic, swift, and often operates beneath the level of your conscious awareness, hijacking your physiological state long before you realize what is happening. This survival mechanism is orchestrated by your autonomic nervous system, the part of your body that manages involuntary functions like your heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. When you ruminate, you are sending a continuous stream of danger signals to this system. The relentless focus on a problem tells your brain that something is wrong, that you are unsafe. He visualizes this system as a ladder. At the top of the ladder is our most evolved state, the ventral vagal state. This is our optimal state for thinking and connecting. When our brain's subconscious surveillance system, which Porges calls neuroception, detects a hint of danger, we begin to descend the ladder. The first step down takes us into the sympathetic nervous system state. This is the classic fight-or-flight response we discussed earlier. Rumination is a powerful trigger that pushes us down into this state. This state is designed for short-term survival, not long-term complex cognitive tasks. The problem with chronic rumination is that it keeps you stuck on this middle rung of the ladder. You are reinforcing the very neuroceptive signals of danger that are keeping you trapped in a state of cognitive limitation and high anxiety. If the threat feels too overwhelming or escape seems impossible, we can descend even further to the bottom rung, the dorsal vagal state. This is our most primitive response, a state of shutdown, collapse, freezing. For someone stuck in a deep pattern of rumination about a seemingly insurmountable problem, this can manifest as burnout, depression, or a sense of utter helplessness. The journey down the polyvagal ladder, triggered by rumination, shows how our psychological stress directly translates into physiological states that move us further and further away from our brain's capacity for insight and connection. Imagine your brain's creative potential as a vast reservoir of fresh, clear water. When you are in a state of safety and calm, at the top of the polyvagal ladder, these pipes are wide open. Now, consider what happens when the alarm of the sympathetic nervous system is triggered by prolonged rumination. This stress response acts like a clog, jamming the pipes and severely restricting the flow. This blocked pipe effect is not just a metaphor. It is a neurological reality. In addition to blocking the flow of creative thought, the stress induced by rumination fundamentally changes how you perceive the world. Think of your perspective as the lens of a camera. The wide-angle perspective disappears, replaced by a hyper-focused, zoomed-in view of the threat. A minor setback at work feels like a career-ending catastrophe. To get unstuck, we must clean the lens. Step back so your nervous system can return to safety. The story of the default mode network begins not with a grand theory, but with a puzzle that emerged from the background noise of early brain imaging studies. The most logical baseline, they thought, was a brain at rest, a person lying quietly in the scanner with their eyes closed, instructed simply to do nothing in particular. Instead, they consistently found a set of brain regions that were more active during the supposedly restful baseline than during the focused task. Raichle's data suggested something entirely different. The brain at rest was not resting at all. In 2001, Raichle and his team officially coined the term default mode network. The name perfectly captured the essence of their discovery. This network appeared to be the brain's default setting. This serendipitous finding, born from the discarded data of other experiments, fundamentally shifted our understanding of the brain. The DMN acts as a kind of master integrator, a powerful background processor that is constantly working to make sense of our lives. Its primary job involves self-referential processing. It is the part of your brain that thinks about you. This network isn't just navel-gazing, it's crucial for social cognition. The DMN underpins theory of mind, our ability to infer others' mental states. The true power of the default mode network lies in its unique ability to integrate information from disparate parts of the brain. It acts like a master conductor. It serves as a central hub that can connect the emotional centers of the limbic system with the long-term memory stores in the hippocampus and the abstract reasoning centers in the prefrontal cortex. The DMN, in contrast, is like a solver who steps back, spreads all the pieces out on the table, and allows their eyes to soften. The period of doing nothing when you step away from a problem is known in creativity research as incubation. When you wake up, the solution that was so elusive the night before may appear with sudden, startling clarity. It was not magic. It was the result of a night spent in your brain's silent, industrious workshop. The path from rumination to insight can be navigated with a simple, practical, 4-step toolkit you can begin using today. The first step is to recognize the loop. Become a mindful observer of your own mental state. Label the state, I'm ruminating. The second step is to signal safety. Use polyvagal tools to speak to your nervous system. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Exhale longer than the inhale. The third step is to intentionally let go. Disengage from the problem and let your default mode network take over. Finally, the fourth step, keep a capture tool ready. When a eureka moment strikes, capture it. Ultimately, science is clear. Performance and well-being come from balance, focused effort, and scientific rest. Rest is not the opposite of work. It is its essential partner. By honoring our biological need for both focused effort and unfocused integration, we can unlock a more sustainable, creative, and insightful way of engaging with the world. So stop ruminating. Start integrating. Your best ideas are waiting in the quiet space you create for them.